Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Terrie Matz joining us here once again from beautiful Bradenton, Florida. She's the owner of her own company called TerriePathic. That's right, TerriePathic.com. That's her website. And she's here as an animal communicator and Reiki master to talk more about the work she does and, of course, how she can help you awaken your soul and connect to those on the other side as well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me again. It's awesome to be here.
Well, great to see you here on Zoom. Is that a beautiful picture of a turtle behind you? Any significance to what you do or you connect with? I know you connect with all animals, right?
I do.
Or reptiles too.
Any kind of animal. In fact, the turtles are what drove me or guided me to be in Bradenton, Florida. So this was actually from a local artist that painted this. So, but yeah, it's been a journey, and I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and once I became an animal communicator, it's about where the animals need me, and whether it's in Japan, Germany, Portugal, I do all, my clients are all over the world, internationally. And I had the pleasure of actually going to New Zealand and doing some work over there. So it's been an amazing, life-changing journey that is guided. Yeah, it's
beautiful. Well, and in your journey, I mean, you now are here helping people connect with their animals. Could you explain a little bit about what you do as an animal communicator, as an animal whisperer, right? And
Right.
We're going to also talk more about the Reiki you do today as a Reiki master, but give us a little more of an overview because people listening today say, wait, what? What does that mean? She's intuitive with animals. Tell us what you could do.
Sure. So animals do connect with us generally through body language, and they bark, and they do their little things that make us know that what they want, type thing. But they do communicate energetically also. So that is what I do. I reach them vibration wise, energetically, to hear their messages, whether that's through thought, through feeling. They use all of my senses so that I'm able to see. Sometimes they give me pictures, sometimes they give me little tiny movies. And then other times they want me to know what they feel. A lot of times when there's a medical condition, it's more on the feeling side. But yeah, they use our senses when you can reach their vibration in order to figure out what they're trying to say back to their human. So
Amazing. All right. And we're excited to have you back. I know today you want to focus a little bit on Reiki and what you do as a Reiki master. So break it down for us. Tell us exactly what Reiki is, and then would love to learn more about how you were trained and become a Reiki master, because there's practitioners, there's all different levels, and how you can help people. Please. Thank you.
yeah, sure. So animal Reiki, well, Reiki in general is a Japanese healing art that allows the energy to flow freely by removing blocks, whether that be through trauma, through emotional, physical challenges or experiences of what they feel is emotional or physical with trauma. And it allows the body to heal naturally because the energy is flowing correctly up and down through the body. So Reiki is what actually clears those chakras, because animals have the 7 main chakras just like humans do throughout their body, and they too hold on to experiences just like humans do. So it's important, and a lot of times they try to ultimately sometimes take things from their human, as far as if they feel that if they take it from their human will be healthier, will feel better. And that causes a block within themselves also. So, and when there are blocks in an animal, they do act differently, whether it's like in their heart, if they've got jealousy and things like that, then they might be a little more aggressive toward what they have the jealousy towards, type thing. They might go to the bathroom because now they're being spiteful where they're not supposed to, type thing. Also, if they've got blocks in their third eye, they could not raise their head high. They could like kind of go low to the ground. A lot of times dogs that have issues with their third eye, you can't approach them from above their head when you go to pet them. You want to come from underneath your head because the energy from your hands, everybody has a force of energy.
I thought about that. Kind of scary, I guess.
Yeah, so there's usually some reason as to why an animal reacts, just like humans. You know, we're a product of all our environment and experiences through life. They are too, and it's just realizing that they are beings, they are lights, they have their own thoughts and their feelings, and it goes from, you know, a spider to a giraffe. You know, it doesn't matter how big, small, they're animals. So they do.
Everyone, I gotta add, everyone has a soul, no matter like how does it work? Reptiles, insects, ants, like you just mentioned, we all have souls of some sort.
We are all light. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
so what happens with Reiki and why I incorporated that into animal communication, because through the years of doing animal communication, I've realized that there's something else that I need to do to help the animal. It's not just telling the owner what they're thinking and feeling, but how can I help them energetically? Because a lot of my work is energy. So what is another modality that can help on an energy level? And Reiki can be done as effective and distant as it is in person.
And that's another thing people might say, wait, how does that work? Because energy is, we're connecting our energies here. We're over a Zoom as well, even if we're just on the phone. People might say, I don't understand that. How would you explain that to someone in layman's terms, that energy can exist like this? I feel your energy.
So it goes back to quantum physics, where it's proven in science that when one thing moves, it affects everything beyond that. So that's how energy travels. That's how energy, one can feel another vibration, even though you might not on a logical or, you know, a conscious level feel it. You are affected by what others do, regardless if you're near them or not near them, because of how the waves and the vibration travels.
Amazing. And I know with Reiki, I've heard about our chakras. We have 7 main, but there's a whole bunch of others. With animals, is it the same system? Does everyone have chakras? And okay.
Yep. Yeah. So, you know, they have the 7 main, just like we do, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And just to give you an example of how their chakras might get blocked on situations that I've had in the past is I had two pups that one had passed. It's probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, where the other one, they grieved too, the ones that are left behind here on earth. And they were sad. They were not doing the normal playful things. They didn't want to eat. They were just kind of moping around type thing. And she originally contacted me for an animal communication to find out if there was anything medically wrong, other than because some people didn't even know that they grieve. So that was a new learning process too for the owner. But at the same time, their thoughts were they didn't want to do anything because they felt that they didn't want to have fun when the other pup wasn't with them. So it's like she stopped everything about life other than going out to go to the bathroom because the other animal wasn't there to enjoy it with her. And it was incredible. And So what I did was I reached out to the pup who had passed and asked if there was a message that she could give to the pup that was still in body. And the message was that she needs to fulfill her purpose, and it's okay to live on and to have fun and to remember the memories of them together. But at the same time, she needs to be there for her mommy, their human mommy that they shared. And it was a click of a light switch. And then what I did then afterwards was give a Reiki treatment, because she still held on to that emotional trauma in her heart of the sorrow and the missing of the other pup. So that's where the Reiki allows that finished, if you want to say a finished process of releasing the body memory of the trauma, what she considered an emotional trauma and experience, to allow her to be in the present, be in the now, be in the loving and the playfulness with her human owner right now. So yeah, they definitely go hand in hand. It can be even things with, I just did a horse not too long ago where it was a previous customer. So I knew the horse already. And she just texted me that said, something's wrong with him and I don't understand what. So I keyed into him, and here I had a pinch in my back. Like, this is where medical comes into hand, where we don't diagnose, but I can tell you how I feel when they pinch something here.
Yeah.
Or they make something ache, or they don't feel good in their stomach. They have a tummy ache if they feel something in their throat with a lump. But he gave me a pinch in my back, and then also I felt like I couldn't even stand my clothing on it. So it was a very sensitive area for him. And then he showed me a picture of him kicking his stall, nipping at other horses, and just really acting up to try and get his owner's acknowledgement that something's going on. So I thanked him for his information that he gave me, because they don't have to communicate if they don't want to, but it's always appreciative and respectful when they do. So I always make sure that I thank them for everything that they've shared. And I went back to the owner and told him what was going on with his back. So she made a chiropractor appointment. But prior to, because there was a day lapse that he was feeling uncomfortable, so I did Reiki to alleviate the inflammation and swelling in his back. And then also touched on his heart chakra, because of the anxiety and the emotional part of him being upset and frustrated from this happening to him. So that was able to be done in between the time we did the communication, and also when the chiropractor came out to take care of things on a medical part. So.
Wow. All right. We got to just remind everyone, Terrie, where how we can reach you, and we're going to continue the conversation. Would you mind sharing?
Sure. So you can reach me at TerriePathic.com. It's TerriePathic.com. You can also email me at TerriePathic@gmail.com. So those are the two easiest ways.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And as we continue the conversation, just to remind everyone, she is an animal intuitive. Also talking about Reiki and the work she does to help heal, because there's so many benefits with Reiki, which we're going to get into for your animal. And let me just ask also, people's tuning in. Well, do you also do Reiki on people? And are you also intuitive with people as well?
I do Reiki on people and animals, both human and animal. And a lot of times, the challenges that are going on with the animals are because of something going on with their human. So it does go hand in hand. I do have people that reach out to me that do not have animals that I do Reiki on also. But yeah, and being intuitive on the animal side, it allows me to be intuitive on the human side also, so that I can key into your body and feel what's going on, feel your blocks, where they are.
Mhm.
And one thing with Reiki is, especially on the human side, is understanding why it happened.
Yep.
Because if you don't take care of the source, the block is just going to keep coming back. So different things, and it can lead to when there is a block and your energy flow is going around the block rather than through the chakra now, it can lead to other illnesses and disease. And each chakra is linked to a particular gland or organ or part of the body. And in addition to the Reiki, you can eat according to that chakra too. So if you know that you're having challenges grounding and it's in your root chakra, you can eat more root vegetables, like carrots and potatoes, and it might not be part of, but according to your diet that you're allowed that you eat. But there are different foods that are related to the chakras also, and even like the sacral is the color orange. So more. I mean, carrots can be either root or sacral, but you got your sweet potatoes, you got your mangoes. Think about the different colors of the rainbow, because that's what we are in the chakra colors of what they look like, and that's what you can eat to help support that chakra.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do both. You can contact me to experience either, but I do believe that Reiki is a universal life force. So it's bringing in from the universe and not using your own life force to unblock and to help heal, so that that person can heal themselves naturally. But yeah, and at the same time, as a Reiki master, there's different levels of Reiki. So you have your Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3, which is masters. And the differences between them is Reiki 1 and 2 are when you practice, Reiki 3 is when you teach. So Reiki 1, you're able to do in person, and then you get attuned after when you have your Reiki 1 level certification. And then Reiki, that was Reiki 1. Reiki 2, you get additional attunements that allows you to do it through distant. So that's when you'll be able to do Reiki, not in person, but throughout the whole entire world, you can do it. So, and then Reiki 3 is giving the master attunement. And each level you get different strengths. So, and then after a certain amount of, I think it's 150 hours of practicing, you're allowed to teach. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is amazing work you do. Again, you can be contacted TerriePathic, TerriePathic.com. And just curious if you can share some of these experiences of how you've helped someone, with Reiki and the benefits and, what they've said about, working with you. It's always good to hear, examples of people and, and animals
Absolutely.
benefiting from this. Of course,
Yeah,
the pet owners themselves too.
Yeah, for sure. So sometimes I'll get a phone call and they've have digestion issues, or if they've gone through a move or a career change, they'll have just very low energy. And they come and they ask for a Reiki treatment. And when they become unblocked, because for a human, when each one represents something different in your life. So like root is finances and stability, security, family, friends, relationships. So when that root, if I come back to you and I say, I give you a Reiki report that actually tells you what each chakra's represents, but also what I found or what I felt in each chakra. Then it's up to you to, okay, these are what this represents. What part of my life does that make sense in, so that I can go back to the source and figure out how to resolve it? Because if you don't resolve it, it's going to continue to come back. And one thing that I've told, even if it's safe, it's with a person who is no longer here.
Oh, that's bizarre. See, your energy shut my camera. That happens sometimes.
I just wanted it to be me. No.
That's so weird. I'm just so bizarre. See, sometimes energy, I think, does that. What do you think? Is that possible? Does that happen to you a lot?
It does. It does on my Zoom. It does.
You're setting some weird vibe. I love it. Like it's, I gotta take a picture of this. Like, that is crazy. When stuff like that happens, it's so meant to be. I'm telling you, it's like a spiritual thing. Got to remember that moment. Something happened at 12:27.
But I lost my train of thought because of that.
So did I. I'm sorry.
So if you go back to that particular chakra and figure out what it is, but even if the person is it who you figured out what the situation was, and that person's no longer on earth or not able to talk to, you can do other things to release it, as far as like writing it on a piece of paper and lighting a white candle with a light, and burning the paper, and have the intuition or the intention of releasing it with what you're doing to represent it. So there are ways around not being able to specifically talk to somebody or going back to a situation, that you can still release it.
Amazing. Wow. All right. We still got 3 minutes left. What else do we want to share for you today, Terrie?
I mean, it really is regardless of what your beliefs are, as far as source, God, whatever you believe in, it is a journey that you're on. And it's being open to other avenues and other modalities that might help you reach your most potential as a person, as fulfilling your dreams, your aspirations, your purpose here on earth. So unblocking and taking care of the past is all about the now and the future, and allows you to enjoy it even more than what you've already had in the past. So it's only beneficial. We're all energy. I do recommend that everybody get energy work at minimum quarterly, just because you don't, you might think you process things, but sometimes they stick and you don't realize it. So, and that can be acupuncture, Reiki. It's any kind of energy modality that can help you process through life is so important.
Oh, it always is important. Now, if someone reaches out to you, obviously, do you offer, if they contact you through the website, you offer an initial consultation, like a discovery call, or how does it work to reach out to you, and what's the process?
Yeah, so every situation is a little bit different. My website does have a contact page, so you can tell me what you're interested in, whether it's the communication, the animal communication, Reiki, or the classes that I have coming up, which I have one starting actually on the 27th of July, which is Animal Communication Level 1. So if anybody's interested, they can reach out for me. But that contact page will let me know whether or not I need to reach out to you further and explain whether it is a good fit that we work together, or what exactly you're needing, so that, it might not be me, it could be me. But yeah, I'll definitely either reach out back to you by email or by phone, depending on what your best communication.
Got it. All right. And remind us one more time how we can reach you. Share the information.
Sure. It's TerriePathic.com. It's TerriePathic.com, or TerriePathic@gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. And again, the turtles brought you to Florida, but you're worldwide with your help. It's so beautiful. It's a painting or that's a picture?
It's a painting.
Well, I can't tell from afar. It looks real. So to me, it looks like a picture, but I guess that's talent and artwork. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Terrie. Have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned. More of the show obviously is coming right up.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.